And it doesn't look like he's going to slow down anytime soon.
Certainly not. Harvick building his lead to 6.6 seconds over second place Joey Logano. Check it out. Start the music, whistle a tune. And there you'll find Logano and Chase Elliott in a race for second and third.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's come from about a half a straightaway behind this 22 car in just a little less than 10 laps to get to his bumper. Logano's really struggling. I think that they still haven't gotten this car tight enough for Logano on the longer run. Chase Elliott doing a nice job here.
Not here as loose as I was earlier.
Yeah, that's just the key. We hear so many times and we talk about, we've shown these cars out of control. But to get speed, so many times everybody says, well, you have to drive it loose. Well, this is one of those places. I'm sorry, you can't get back in the gas and drive the car and be in the gas. You're not going to go anywhere. So when that car starts getting loose, you don't have any choice except to back out a little bit sooner if it's a loose situation in. If it's off, then you just have to work the throttle even more, and that just doesn't make speed. How about it, Dave?
DJ, you heard the transmission from Chase Elliott. Still a little bit loose, but not bad. They were talking about big adjustments at the beginning of this run, but the car has really come to him this time. And so as you see him going underneath Logano now, the 9 is able to capture the long end of the run, or the far end of the run, not like he was earlier.
Yeah, I chuckled before when you were talking about Chase Elliott, because we heard the radio transmission say, I'm not as loose as I was before, but we could see those white gloves inside the car, and those hands are flying around through the middle of the corner.
Yeah, one thing you got to be careful of, you can never get the car to hook the rear tires like you want it to. Here, look at Logano make the pass back on him right there. That was nice. But you never get the rear tires where they'll do what you want them to do. And if you keep trying to adjust for that, you can mess the car up in other ways. You can make the front tires start sliding as well. And I think that's good information that Chase is giving his crew, is that, hey, this car is tighter. I mean, like Alan said, it doesn't look it, but he doesn't want to get the car too tight and not have the front tires do their job.
Well, he's going what is relative to what he was earlier. So, yes, it probably still is, but it's not as bad as what it was. So he's going to make this pass this time and probably learn a little lesson. Don't drive it in as hard. Don't get up off the bottom and open that door up for him. You can see he's doing a nice job.
So up to second place, young Chase Elliott, making the folks in sections 156 and 157 happy. They've given the folks up at the Dawsonville Pool Hall hope that they'll get to run that siren yet tonight. Second yellow flag out in tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Reason, same as the first, debris. This time, instead of on the backstretch, it is down in turn number 1. And the field slowed for just the second time in this one. Erases the huge lead that Kevin Harvick had in this one. And while the pace car picks up the field and we regroup for pit stops, we check out Drive Like You Mean It, brought to you by Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Drivers that have been gaining a lot of ground tonight. Nice run for Landon Castle. Mentioned Ryan Sieg, the hometowner from Tucker, Georgia earlier. Ty Dillon doing a solid job. Another good drive for J.J. Yaley tonight. And, of course, Kevin Harvick, who has led the most laps in this one tonight and will lead him down pit road again here. He's driving like he means it, huh?
Yeah. Or like he stole it or something. He's going somewhere fast. I don't know exactly.
One up.
The 11 car is going to get the free pass. Even after hitting the wall, he's able to get by the 6 car. Yep, going to be back on the lead lap here.
That break Rusty talked about maybe needed. Here they come. Jamie's first.
And Joey Logano slipped back to third on that run, saying this is the worst the car has been all night, like a 4 loose for him. They're going to take 1 pound out of air pressure in the right rear, track bar down, and 4 tires, Vince.
Kevin Harvick has tightened up quite a bit, so they're going to go back on that wedge adjustment from the previous stop. 4 tires. They're still going to need another stop to make it to the end. Dave?
4th place, Kyle Larson, track bar and air adjustment, loose race car. Just a little bit of help is what Chase Elliott said he needs. That comes from his friends. Track bar and air pressure adjustment for him as well.
Holding serve on the pit stops.
Certainly. All the way down. That's appropriate this week, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's open.
74 laps to go here in Atlanta tonight. The picture has changed here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As we remind you that you're watching the Great Clips 300 for the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you can go to NASCAR.com for your latest NASCAR information. The picture has gotten wetter. Started raining. First over in turn 2, now over in turn 1. As you look at the radar screen, it's not a lot around us, but it is what's here is right over us. You see a lot of the lighter green dots is just a lot of ground clutter, but you see right in the center there, the darker green spot right over the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it's like just a small cell built right over the speedway. Seems like right there in turn 2. It has lit up a little. At least from that shot it has.
So keeping the cars on the racetrack, and NASCAR Race Control asking the spotters to have their drivers kind of fan out around the racetrack as you see them now, instead of running in the single line like they're usually admonished to try and keep as much of the racing surface with some heat in it and dry as possible.
Probably some of those drivers that thought it was wet earlier, the way their cars were driving.
Yeah. So just joining us, we're 72 laps from conclusion. We are about 2/3 of the way through. 130 laps would be 2/3 of the way through. We're just completing the 124th lap there. So just shy of the 200-mile mark in Atlanta, and under caution for the second time, both for debris. Stories of the night: Chase Elliott led the opening 36 laps from pole. Kevin Harvick's led the rest of them and looked really, really strong so far. Take opportunity of waiting out the weather situation to remind you that Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week continues Monday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN. It's the Miami Hurricane traveling to Louisville to face the Cardinals in their ACC debut. Running back Duke Johnson going to lead the Canes, and of course Bobby Petrino back in charge at Louisville. It's Miami and Louisville, presented by Capital One, Monday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN. Joey Logano, our ESPN in-race reporter, is running third. He's been solidly up the front most of the night. He's probably got a couple minutes to talk to us here.
Yeah, let's check him out. Hey, Joey, Dale Jarrett, good to talk?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Looks like you've got a good race car. Maybe not yet up to the standards of what that 5 car is putting down out there, but heard you complaining about your car being a little too loose tonight.
I wish it was a little loose. It's definitely really loose there. We were making good progress on it, and put a little bit of tape on it, and also caught a little bit of debris on the grill. And you're going this fast, you lose you gain all that front downforce, and it just rips the back out of the track, and couldn't hang on to her that long. So hopefully Jeremy made the right changes here for me, and get a decent restart. But putting my tires really bad on the starts here, so hopefully get a little better restart and be able to try to keep up with that 5 car. He's super, super fast.
Hey, you were mentioning the track. How is the track? I know we've had a little bit of a rain shower there, but did it get very wet there?
Turn 1 got a little wet and changed colors, and they were 3/4 back to dry, maybe almost dry now. So gets better every time I come through here.
Okay, sounds good, man. Good luck.
Thanks, DJ.
Joey Logano running in third position. So hoping this is just a little momentary weather delay. We'll get back onto the green very quickly. But for now, the pace car leads the field in Atlanta.
Welcome back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Working caution here. Lap 127 for rain in the area in our Great Clips 300 coverage. Plenty of coverage coming up on our airwaves very shortly this weekend. NHRA will kick things off with qualifying tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2, with the finals Monday, noon Eastern on The Deuce. Of course, the big event of the weekend here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Sprint Cup race, the Oral-B USA 500. We begin our coverage at 7 p.m. on ESPN. Kevin Harvick is on the pole. Tony Stewart returns to action. He'll roll off 12th. And, of course, the Nationwide Series returns to action next week at the Action Track, Richmond International Raceway, Friday, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. And so far the story tonight, gentlemen, as we come back inside the Quicken Loans ESPN pit studio, has been Kevin Harvick. He has dominated this race. He's led 90 laps, but, Chase Elliott is second. He's had a good car. He led 30 laps early. Joey Logano has known his way around here. He's got a strong race car. If this thing does go back to green, do they have a shot at overtaking Harvick?
There's always a shot, but reality, I don't think they can outrun that 5 car with Kevin Harvick. He's been so strong tonight, it's unreal. We talked earlier in NASCAR Countdown why this is one of his favorite racetracks. He's got a technique to get around this track, and it seems like the young Chase Elliott, Brad, in my opinion, has kind of followed right in his footsteps, that Harvick's kind of tutored him along a little bit, it looks to me.
I agree with you. Unless that 5 car goes to heck in a handbasket, there's nobody going to beat them tonight. Incrementally, he continues to pull away from the field as we get under green. So I think it's going to be a tough order for anybody to catch and beat him. But the interesting thing is there is only 11 cars still on the lead lap in this race, so it shows you how dominant Harvick is and how good the cars are at the top of the field.
I tell you, talk about being dominant. I mean, I've been really impressed with Junior Motorsports all year long. I mean, you look at this race right now, you got Kevin Harvick leading it, Chase Elliott second, Regan Smith ninth. All 3 of his cars are in the top 10, and you look at those numbers from last year to this year, so much better, so much more consistent. I tell you what, Dale Jr. is really focused on this nationwide team. Obviously, he's got some help with Mr. Hendrick, with Hendrick Motorsports. Good leadership over there, having a great year. Pretty impressed with him.
Yeah, as good as Kevin Harvick has been tonight. I'm looking for Regan Smith, even though he is running tonight, to advance his position. He needs to get up in that top 5 to have a really strong evening and gain points.
And so far, as we talk about Junior Motorsports, you can just look. The only 2 cars who have led laps tonight are out of those stables. We're talking about Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick. Regan Smith, you touched upon it, another Junior Motorsports team, but he hasn't performed at the same level as those other 2 cars tonight.
Really seems like they've been just a little bit off, and his car and all these cars are very, very loose, obviously, but it seems like he's really challenged with his race car, trying to put down solid laps, trying to maintain position or even advance position. He's been solid, but not great, but there's still a lot of laps left.
All right, well, a lot of action going on pit road, and we've got our pit reporters covering all the stories. Let's go down to Vince.
It's been a dominating performance for Kevin Harvick, but the crew chiefs never are relaxed. They're always worrying about something. What's top of mind for you right now, Ernie?
The biggest thing is just not running out of tires, but everyone else on the same sequence. But that's the biggest thing here. Just choose up tires, and we're only got one more set left after this last stop. So hopefully if it just goes green and stop, hopefully in like 45, 50 laps, and hopefully win the nationwide insurance race.
That's Ernie Cope. Dave?
Vince, Greg Ives has been tuning on Chase Elliott's 9 car all evening. Have you got it where you need it, or does he still need a little more loose out, do you think, toward the end here?
Well,
You're probably not going to pit again, though, are you?
Yeah, well, we're going to have to pit sometime for fuel again, but and obviously those precious tires on this Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. But Nationwide Insurance Series, Chase has been doing a good job, being the regular up front all day. The 5 car, our teammate, we got to get it better than him. So we've been adjusting on it, trying to make it better, and I think Chase is going to have something for him at the end.
Jamie?
Well, Jeremy Boland's calling the shots for the 22. Joey Logano, you took a big swing at it there. A pound out of air pressure. How do you think that's going to help the car?
Well, hopefully it's enough. Our discount tire Mustang's not quite as good as we want it to be. We've been a little too free all night. Hopefully we can find the right balance for the end. We should get one more shot to work on it. I think if we can find the right balance by the end, maybe we can get it up front.
All right, Joey Logano feeling the pressure. He wants his first win in the Nationwide Series of the year, Mike.
Well, thank you, Jamie. And to get that first win, well, he's going to have to beat Mother Nature because she has brought more rain to the area and doesn't look like she's going away anytime soon. We'll return in just a few moments to see whether or not Kevin Harvick can hold on to this dominant performance he's turned in thus far.
Now there's the scene live here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. NASCAR Nationwide Series race under caution with 64 laps to go. That's about 100 miles in this one here at Atlanta. And raindrops peppering the racetrack. Cars still on the speedway running behind the pace car. They haven't parked the field. It's not raining hard enough to have soaked the track, but it has rained hard enough to keep the race under caution here for a moment or so. NASCAR race control constantly in contact with the pace car and with the spotters on the roof who are in contact with their drivers behind the wheel. And we are coming to 1 to go. There are the championship standings in the Nationwide Series. Chase Elliott and Regan Smith, top 2 drivers, are teammates for Junior Motorsports. And then you got on one hand Chase Elliott, the young 18-year-old kid in his first season of doing this, who really hasn't been through the championship ringer yet. And on the other hand, his more experienced teammate Regan Smith, who went through the championship ringer last year but is at a different point in his career. Chase Elliott's future is pretty well secured as it looks at this point, while Regan is looking to reestablish his place perhaps in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series sooner than later. Really interesting dynamic. Which one wins out? The youthful what me war